Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Central Intelligence. I'm Sydney Weber.
And I'm Hunter Matson. This week we examine students' reactions on the presidential election. We also dive into the many forms of athletic punishment.
Stay tuned for these stories and more because this is CI. On November 8th, the presidential election was held, which created many feuds from inside households to social media.
Nick Wiley and Amy Demir share students' reactions behind the controversial election.
Donald Trump won the presidential election last Tuesday, November 8th, leaving many in shock at the results.
I was sure it was going to be close, but I was really sure that Trump's kind of really hateful rhetoric wasn't going to triumph in the end and that Hillary was going to win.
Honestly, kind of thought of Trump as a joke.
It was definitely a surprise. Because pretty much everybody, most experts and most people that I know, were definitely expecting Hillary Clinton to win the election.
I think the idea that polling is strongly predictive is short-sighted, and I think perhaps this election will end that trust.
The election left some with immediate concerns of what a Trump presidency might mean.
I stopped thinking about presidential duties and I thought more about the people. Really, what I was thinking about was how it was going to hurt them.
I think it's very telling of people's opinion of Trump that what's supposed to be a normal political process resulted in suicide hotlines and crisis hotline numbers being posted.
I'm not personally happy that Donald Trump won, but I don't think that he's going to do anything that'll harm the country, mainly because he says that he's patriotic and he says that he's going to make America great again.
If you're excited about the outcome, then you need to be informed about what the executive branch can do. If you're unhappy about the outcome, you need to get informed about the executive branch and find out what the executive branch can do.
My grandmother was an illegal immigrant, and then my dad received his citizenship upon being born here. So for me personally, it's really jarring because I've never had to think about what it would be like to not have my dad around.
My parents especially started to basically show panic because they're immigrants and they fear for Trump's policies.
As a gay American citizen, it's honestly worrisome. Some of the stuff that he and Pence have expressed wanting to do so far, it's scary.
I'm not particularly worried about Trump because the Constitution doesn't really allow Trump to enact all of the policies that he says that he's going to do. I feel like there are several checks and balances within the government that will prevent any radical policies from coming into effect.
If we don't trust the system to function, then we can't trust the results of that system.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Nick Wiley as videographer and Amy Demir reporting.
One of the many things that makes Central diverse is the special education classes, where not only do they learn common core subjects, but also valuable life skills.
Emily Beach and Emma Steingruber take you inside the special education department.
An important part of our school here at Central is our special education classes. The special education classes have students with all different kinds of learning disabilities.
The kiddos are like everybody else in more ways than not. They have their special interests just like you guys do. Some of them like music, or they like dance, or they like cartoons. Sometimes it's same sort of things that you guys like, and sometimes it's different.
I like dancing, I like coming to school because I get to see all of my friends and learn new stuff.
I like to do, I like to go out, I like to play piano. Why do I like piano is that, probably it's my power.
Well, I do bowling, Like I have both with my friends from Central.
Well, I personally have never treated any of the special ed kids any differently than I would any others.
They're a lot of fun to be around. It's never boring.
Not only are these teens full-time students, but they are also full-time volunteers. Their class goes around and helps the Central School and faculty in any way that they can.
Yeah, we clean tables and do recycling. I do it all with this class.
We do paper, recycling, clean tables, and we did coffee. We did coffee though. And we went to the thrift store, and sometimes we go out there and pick up trash.
It is okay. It's helping. I'm cool with that because it makes you a better person.
I would say that most people like to help people.
They know what it's like to be working, and they get to be out with people a lot when they do the coffee and when they do the store.
The special education class students have an important message to send to the rest of Central about them and their classmates.
Well, we can do a lot of things. We can do math. We can draw.
Actually, I don't want to tell them anything about the class. I want to tell them just try your best and work hard.
The best role models probably that they can have are peers that are, quote, normal. But if you really look at everybody has different needs or different things that they have to do differently.
This has opened my eyes and opened my mind too, to not only care for just the people like me, but other people.
Sign off for Central Intelligence has been Emma Steingraber and Emily Beach reporting.
One of the hardest working and considerate faces of Central is sitting in the main office keeping track of attendance every day. Sydney Weber and Chase Eckley bring you Miss Peggy.
Secretary Peggy Folkart has become an essential part of Central High School. Over the course of several years, students have come to know and love Miss Peggy.
I started 12 years ago, and I knew exactly what I was getting into. I love the attendance office. It is busy, it is crazy. I see the kids, I talk to the kids, I get to know them, I get to know their parents. Some of them I got to know their pets. But I knew exactly what I was getting into.
When I go to the office, she always has this huge smile on her face, and she's always just like, oh, hey, how are you doing? To like everyone, and she helps everyone with everything.
Every time I walk into the office, Mrs. Peggy always waves and greets me and is always very nice and sometimes offers me candy. And that makes me feel good because it's always nice to have people that are kind to you, and candy's good.
In addition to her work in the attendance office, the student body values Miss Peggy for other reasons.
She's always willing to help anyone that goes in the office, whether they're like a peer mediator like myself or whether they're just a regular student. She's always willing to help, and she's always happy and always nice.
She's supportive and helpful with anyone who comes to ask her, and she makes it really known. Like she'll tell someone just to come up and ask for help. And
I think we all live in our bubble, in our own lives, our own experiences, and I've gotten so many more experiences from everyone here, and the world doesn't live within my bubble.
Many students believe that Miss Peggy exemplifies the values of Central.
Like as a school, we are a very kind school and a very wholehearted school that cares about each student, and I think that she does all of that, and she works well with the school, and she works towards being kind to everyone.
I think the secretaries are kind of like the face of Central. That's pretty much what people see when they first walk in, and if they act like Miss Peggy, then they're pretty much gonna be like, oh, Central's a pretty good place.
when my house burned down, she kept sending us like letters and stuff saying, I hope you feel better, I hope you get your stuff back and everything's fine. And then when we told her that we basically lost everything, she like got us these little like manicure sets and stuff like that. It was just really nice.
Some of you need nothing, and some of you need a lot. And sometimes it's just a smile. Hey, I know you're here. Hey, you matter.
Every kid, it's like a one-on-one with her, and she goes out of her way to help to try to understand all of the students.
It's very humbling. It's very humbling. I don't do this for accolades. I do this because I love the kids.
Encouraging you to appreciate your school secretaries, this has been Chase Eckley and Sydney Weber reporting. Students have questioned whether school food gives the proper nutrition that a person needs each day. Cassie Parmenter and Anna Skaliski investigate this issue.
Nutritious food is an important part of any student's success in school, but for high school students, eating a well-balanced meal can be difficult.
A school lunch is supposed to provide a third of the daily value of most of the nutrients for students in that age group.
We want them to have healthy, productive immune systems and healthy, productive brains as they're studying.
Some students, however, find that schools offer a limited selection of foods.
I figure if they put more like bell peppers or green peppers and things, so at least add some flavor, and it'd still be as healthy as normal tomato and lettuce.
I think we do the best we can, but obviously we could make improvements.
I think time is a big factor when it comes to school lunches, and it can be really hard to, stand in line and get your food and then actually have enough time to eat.
While students may not find a huge selection of foods in high school, Drury University's Fresh Ideas Catering offers a wide range of foods with the intent of meeting more students' nutrition needs.
There's more of a variety, I do believe. We try to make sure that they have healthy, good meals, options that they can choose from.
If you look at schools across the world and what they're able to offer, for example, schools in Europe, the choices that they provide for students and teachers at lunchtime is a lot more varied.
It's really important that schools offer a variety of healthy foods so that students can find something that they like that's also nutritious.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Cassie Parmenter, videographer, and Anna Skaliski reporting.
Get up out of your desk and get a hands-on education at the OTC Career Center for high school juniors and seniors. There are 19 career paths to choose from, and it's free. Students earn college credit, and they're prepared to get a job when they graduate. A hands-on education that helps you get a job or a jump start on college is what makes the OTC Career Center a unique high school experience. Talk to your high school counselor or visit otc.edu/career center to learn more.
While it may seem that being a Central athlete can be all fun, there are many athletic punishments that not many people are aware of.
Sai Vuda and Levi Graham explore the many forms of athletic punishment.
On November 15th, Missouri State quarterback Breck Reddick will be charged with cruelty to animals for abusing his neighbor's dog. This is just one example of athlete punishment which occurs when an athlete commits a felony and is penalized for the rest of the season or for the rest of their sports career. This system is implemented at Central and has sparked a conversation among students and staff.
I think the MSU football player's punishment should have been worse because that is a big deal, and that what he did reflects on the whole school. So I feel like just suspending him from the team for the rest of the season isn't enough.
For all intents and purposes, like a harmless animal from what I hear. I don't know the dog, but the way that they describe it, it doesn't make it seem like it was vicious in any way or it wasn't attacking him. He was simply trying to move it off the bed and did so with a lot of force.
I think the punishment he got was pretty fair, but especially when you're kind of a big public figure, like for a college team, but you are doing all these things and people, like children, might look up to you as a role model.
Athlete punishment has been a controversial subject for many years between athletes and their administration.
Standard athlete punishment at Central High School, it's a case-by-case and a team-by-team basis. Each coach runs their program differently.
So here at Central, students sign a citizenship card, and it kind of has a two-pronged approach. To receive at least one day of out-of-school suspension, the student athlete has to serve a 14 calendar day suspension from any activity. If it involved drug or alcohol, that would be an automatic 28-day calendar day suspension, and that's assuming that the law is not involved in any way.
If you break rules of the citizenship card that you signed at the beginning of the season, you can be benched or possibly kicked off the team.
I think there should be like a minimum punishment. So like what it is now is probably fine.
But when it comes to, on the field play, it's next man up. We're training not just one particular athlete, but all these athletes to prepare to play. So if that one person's unable to go for whatever reason, then it's the next person up.
Signing off for Central Intelligence, this has been Sai Vuda and Levi Graham reporting.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Central Intelligence.
Be sure to check out other stories and more on our website, chscinews.com. Also like us on Facebook, tweet us, and follow us on Instagram at @chs_ci.
We will see you again after Thanksgiving break. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Central Intelligence.
Be sure to check out other stories and more on our website, chscinews.com. Also like us on Facebook, tweet us, and follow us on Instagram at @chs_ci.
We will see you again after Thanksgiving break.